Morning, Bones.
Morning, Padre. What's on the agenda today?
Well, seems a couple of hot topics, but let's first cover this government shutdown and the potential ending of it today. They're saying it's the longest shutdown in history. We're
I
on
think
day
we
41,
yeah, 41 days.
and what it took was 8 Democrats flipping over to the GOP side and understanding that the government shutdown was not giving them the leverage they thought it was going to give them to get their Affordable Care Act subsidized.
Well, imagine that. That's a wake-up call for them right there. We need more Democrats to do the same, So,
Well, there were a few like John Fetterman right in the beginning that he's voted all 15 times to open the government, and he's admonished his counterparts or his constituents and his fellow Democrats against this shutdown, stating that it wasn't going to work, that the American people were going to suffer, and that the Democrats were going to be held responsible for that. Uh,
yeah, that's the reality of the whole situation right there.
well, exactly. And so what you had was major labor unions coming on board that were the voters for these Democrats coming in and demanding that they reopen the government and that they get off their high horse and stop these battles of political principle and look out for the American people. Uh, they were feeling a lot of pressure. Of course, you still have those diehard Democrats that wouldn't get on board. Chuck Schumer was obviously still against it, still speaking his mind, trying to lay everything out on the Republican Party. But the concessions made, which I was kind of proud of our leaders on the Republican side, they did not give in to funding the Affordable Care Act and these other ludicrous things that the Democrats were trying to add in. What they did do was agree to vote on it and to discuss it further after the government was opened up. The other
Right.
thing that they gave in is all the rifts that took place during the shutdown by order of President Trump. These employees will be reinstated, and it prevents like things from happening in the future. Uh, the other thing was that the employees that were furloughed or that were working will be receiving back pay, not just the uh, essential employees. So there were some things, those were the three concessions. Um, Further discussions will be taking place on the other issues, and I'm sure they're going to have to come to some kind of bipartisan agreement on those issues in the near future. It does open and fund the military. Uh, it was the military and two other things through, I think, 2026, the end of 2026. And it keeps the government open and federal employees paid and SNAP benefits going until January 30th. Uh, they're hoping they have a resolution to everything prior to that.
That gives them plenty of time to have negotiations and maybe come to a mutual agreement on things and get enough people to vote the right direction, I hope.
Right.
So,
Well, I think you're still going to have a deadlock on this Affordable
yeah,
Care Act. I mean, Obamacare obviously failed. That's why they need trillions of dollars to subsidize it still. It's going to have to be reworked, revamped, and they're going to have to come up with a
yeah,
bipartisan
that
solution to it.
yeah, they said in the beginning with Obamacare that it would pay for itself, but now it needs trillions to be subsidized to stay functioning. That's crazy.
Right. So
So anyway,
there'll be some agreements and discussions made on probably they'll come out with a new Affordable Care Act that'll be beneficial to the citizens. President Trump came out and told air traffic controllers, get back to work. And for those that stayed without pay during the shutdown, because it was the right thing to do, they'll be receiving a $10,000 bonus check. For those
Good
that
for them.
didn't stay, he admonished them uh, and said that it will be a permanent black mark on your career
Wow.
that
What,
you
you know,
didn't stay.
give rewards to the winners and take away from the ones that didn't participate.
Well, and I think that's perfectly logical. And I think that the statement was made for air traffic controllers. I think that should go for everybody that worked without pay and stayed at work throughout this shutdown for the benefit of the American people should receive some type of bonus. And those that chose to walk or change careers during this shutdown, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's like we've always said in private industry, this is the type of thing that would happen. The reward would go to those who spent their time for a positive direction for the company and their work and their families, and then those who didn't wouldn't receive. They may lose their jobs too. But
Right. So anyway, the vote today, the vote passed the Senate by the 60-40 margin that it needed exactly. Now it goes to the House where it's got to have all 100 unanimously agree. So there may be some modifications made to it before it passes the House and gets to the president's desk to be signed. Hopefully that happens within the next, well, they're supposed to be voting on it today. Hopefully that's resolved today and it's on the president's desk to be signed and the government can be reopened very soon. We're heading in the right direction. Again, praise to all of you that worked hard through it and had faith. And for those of you who held out and tried to blackmail the rest of the American people into funding a worthless program, several ludicrous programs, shame on you.
I agree. Shame on you. And kudos to those that remained in position and did their jobs to move forward with the country. Thank you very much.
So from Padre Havoc and Bones, we'll keep you updated when the government opens back up and any modifications that have been made in order to do so. You folks have a great day. And
it goes to show you that staying positive can bring great results.
exactly.
So stay positive.